Man, we are down. We are down $280, man. So we ran the account up to 360 and now we back down, man. We back down to 80 bucks, man, on the account, man. No big deal. Just took a rough trade. I wanted to try to make a splash, man, and that's what I would say. I wanted to try to make a splash for this week to really turn the 26 bucks into maybe like 700 in a week, which would have been pretty been pretty cool to get it done. But honestly, one of the reasons why I wanted to kind of make a flip like that was just because I just want to get to. I've always had this trouble getting close to like $1,000, man. Like anytime I do a flip account, I flip multiple accounts, right? From $50 to 500, from 100 to 900. One time I got over $1,000, right? And it's been it's truly been like a roadblock for me to like take a small amount and then flip it to $1,000 and then grow it from $1,000 further. And I'm trying to break that hurdle. So that's kind of like what this video is about, right? Number one thing about this video is I want to say that hey, I am retiring the Nasdaq. I mean, not ever, ever, ever trade that pair again, or I mean that indice again. Um, man, it just I don't know, man. It always get to me, right? It always get to me. And here's the reason why I'm gonna break down this trade. Right? I'm gonna show y'all guys what I saw and why I wanted to take this trade. And I took a couple chances on Nas, which kind of, that's kind of dropped the. I kind of dropped the ball on it, and also I kind of, was trying to take a nice little trade. Like I said, saying to try to get the account over 700 in a week, right? Which primarily you shouldn't do that, right? You should look at it as, taking it step by step. 20 to 40, 40 to 80, 80 to 160. Just look at doubling the count versus trying to gain like a 400%, you know what I'm saying? Or tripling the count, quadrupling the count in a week. So let's take a look at this trade, man, that I was messing around with on Nas, what I was trying to get going, man. And if you looking at it from the daily time frame, right? Let's go ahead and kill some of these. I'm gonna just remove some of these drawings real quick just so we can see it. So if we look at the Nasdaq is definitely in a daily range, right? It is looking terrible, and that's the main reason why I don't prefer trading the Nasdaq for one reason. But other than that, right? Let's just say you're looking at it right there, as far as a daily range. You do have this little price area right here at 20,000, 20,120, and then some of the lower area down here at 20,000 area, right? So looking at this from the daily, here's what I was expecting. Let's draw this out real quick. So what I'm expecting, originally, this is what I was expecting, right? For price to pull up, create the top wick on the daily, and then come back down and fill this daily wick. At least get down to 20,000, but to fill this daily wick down here, right? And continue to push down. As we can see, that's not happening currently, but that was my original trade idea, right? Breaking out of this, little consolidation, and just look at all these wicks, bro. This problem, right? You see all these wicks? Price is just wicking around, man. It's just wicking around. It's no fluid movement, and that's what Nas is like, for the most part, all the time, right? Just no fluid movement. So going down to the 4 hour, right? So looking at the 4 hour, if you look at it, the only type of structure that we have is, price breaking this lower level right here and making a lower high, right? And making a lower low and potentially pulling back to make a lower high. I mean, yeah, to make a lower high. Sorry. My dog's barking downstairs. If you hear him, man, I apologize about that. But probably, a package or something at the door. But pulling back to make a lower high, and then to push back down, right, to make another lower low. That's what the idea was. So originally, coming into the market pretty early, I saw this candle. I mean, before I draw that, I saw this candle right here, potentially getting ready to close below this, right? Structure started to change on the lower time frame, and I initially took a short sale early, super early, right? Which I should have waited, but I initially took a short sale, something like that, stop above the 4 hour candle, and ideally, like I said, I was trying to go back down to 20,000 even. So it would have been something like this, right? Something like that, 1 to 6. Crazy trade, right? Get down there, right? As you can see, price started to, and let's go down to the 15-minute real quick so I can show you guys exactly what I saw. So if you look at it, right, let's remove some of these real quick. Don't really like. So if you look at it, price started to make a shift. Price pulled up and then pushed down, right? And then push back up, right? Grab liquidity. That's how I look at that, right? Liquidity grab right there. And then pull down, right? And was potentially getting ready to break out of that range right there, right? So when it pulled back here, here's what I'm expecting. So and I'm just removing all these real quick just because I don't want to make it confusing. So I'm going to remove these real fast. But here's what I'm expecting. That's the body candle close. So I'm expecting price to push, break, pull back here for an entry, right? And then, fall lower. Now, mind you, now this is pretty early. This is like midnight time, 1 a.m. in the morning, which Nas does move around that time, right? To kind of start its daily trend or something like that, typically. But so originally I took the trade right here, just like that, and that was the process for me. Was in a little bit of profit, and then price kind of just grabbed liquidity here and then pushed back up to the upside, right? So push back up to the upside. I got out somewhere around here. I didn't let it go all the way to my stop loss. I got out somewhere around this range right there, and then looked at it again and was like, okay, well, we starting to shift higher, right? So I went back up to my 4 hour and I looked at it. I was like, hey, well, this was a bunch of volume pushing up, kind of hit a doji, just like a little stall. So hopefully, what I'm saying, we can get, maybe price will push this leg up, right, to, potentially get back up here into some of these highs and stuff like that, right? Because obviously on a daily, we already talked about it, right? We in the range. We was at the bottom of the range. I was hoping that price would continue to push and break out of the range, but it didn't. So looking at the 4 hours, so we finally got a little leg up. So I'm thinking, hey, well, maybe we're going to push back up to the top of the range, right? Which it looked like it's currently getting ready to do it now. But here's the problem. Problem happened was that I took the trade too early, right? So when I looked at it, when I got around to making that decision, what I noticed was, hey, we got an hour order block right there, right? Also a secondary one right here, right? On the hourly. So you got those two order blocks. So I got in roughly about here for the long. So let's mark that off real quick. So I got in roughly about here for the long. Stop loss is a little bit under the order block, right? A little bit under the order block. And my targets was, my targets was really, I like to target a psychological level number. So, I mean, it was a pretty deep trade because I would have went up to 2,500. And now, mind you, I practice more swing trading. So I knew I would have been in this trade for, a few hours, possibly today and tomorrow, right? So looking at that, this was the original trade that I had. And as you can see, went into a little bit of profit. US session started to come. And here's when you start to realize that trading starts to click, right? Is that knowing that the number one thing that I know is once price opens up in the US session, right? You usually get a pullback in the opposite direction of what the trade is going in currently, right? So I already expected this pullback to come. So I expected this pullback to come down and grab some liquidity here, right? Grab some liquidity here, and then, potentially, a little spike down and then, start to ascend up. But Price had a whole different thing in mind, right? So basically what Price did was it pushed down, continued to push, went back into the order block, which I knew which was possible. And not taking in consideration of saying like, hey, this is what's going to happen, me just being negligent about the whole process. Like I should have known better to say, hey, that's going to happen, potentially even break out of that order block and go to this secondary order block right around like 20,000, 130, 140-ish area. And, just break through that. Because if you look at it, the next technical number would be, 20,000. So you have 20,000, 20,250, 20,250, and then 20,500 is the next order block. So knowing that, I knew Price had the opportunity to push down into this order block right here and grab some more liquidity and then push up, or possibly pushing down into the secondary order block and then pushing up, right? Which it did on both of them. And at this specific time, I did get out early enough. I got out. So this first one right here was like a $69 loss to talk about. The amount of money that was lose to add up to the 280. So Lee, I got a 3 trade max number one, right? I got a 3 trade max number one. If I can't capitalize on 3 trades, then I'm out of the market. So number one, that was a $69 loss. All right, cool. The risk to reward ratio was there, so I took the trade. Simple as that, right? Next trade, same thing, right? Risk to reward ratio was there. Took out roughly about, and I actually added a secondary position on this one, and that's what killed me, right? I was like, hey man, Price got into the order block, saw a little bit of a shift of structure, I believe, on the 15-minute up in here. And then I was like, okay, I take a secondary entry to push up, and that didn't happen, right? So lost about 150 on this one. So 150 plus 69, roughly about 210, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. No big deal. I was like, so now once I lost that, let's push this to here. So now I'm looking at the market. And I don't know why I continue to just trade Nas, even though Nas always does this to me, man. It's like every time I start to get rolling and I get on a little good week, I start to trade indices, I jump on Nas, and Nas is usually the one that does it to me, right? And just look at this price action, bro. There's literally nothing happening right now, right? Nobody knows where this market is going, right? It's not whether it's going up or down, right? So what I started to do was I started. Oh man, you can hear that. You can hear my AC going off. So what I looked at was I looked at Nas and I was like, okay, 4-hour close bearish, right? Still kind of sort of underneath this resistance zone, right? And if you look back at price, if you just mark this out, let's just say, come on, man. If you just mark this out from here and you just take a look at it, like what's happening, right? You draw a zone around that, just this area right here. Not even looking at like the psychological number, because it's not really on a. If you just draw the zone out, like right here, what's happening, right? Let's take a look at it. So I'm like, okay, well, price kind of, just ranged through it here, but then once it broke over it, it retested and pushed up, right? And then price kind of came back down, broke underneath it, retested it, and then pushed down. Same thing here. Price broke over it, came back, retested it, and then pushed up. Retest, push up, retest, repush, push up. So now, didn't mean to move that. So now price is pushing down and coming back to retest to do what? I'm expecting another leg down. That's what I'm expecting, right? Now that I look at it, I'm like, okay, so let's see if we can get some shorts off of this joint, right? Let's see if we can get some short sales off of it. So now I go to my hourly. Now I'm looking for, potential shorts in the market. I'm looking at it. I'm like, okay, so price close. This was the 4-hour close candle right here. Right, so price closed like that. I'm like, okay, well, if I can get a pull up on my 15-minute and a lower high, I'm cool with that. Right, so I get the initial trade, the initial lower high right here. I take my sell. I put my stop loss over the 4-hour high. Right, so that's my stop loss. And now, like I said, I'm targeting the same thing. I'm targeting the same thing, right? The same 20,000. I'm expecting price to come back down there, to 20,000, right? Same process, literally the same area, right? You get this trade, it's a 1 to 4, perfect. I made back all my money, everything good. But as you can see, I get stopped out of the trade, right? I had already closed out of the trade. What made me close out of the trade early was this, right? Price pushed down. Price was. Look at this, man. Look at this price action. Up, down, up, down, up, down. And then folks be wondering why, like, it's so hard for them to trade, is because when you start seeing price action like this, it's like it's choppy. It's nothing there, right? It's up, down, up, down, up, down. And then you finally get the move down, what you think you're going to get the move down, and then what price does? Push right back up, right? Entice everybody to get in the sales right here, and then starts to push back up, and then entice people to get in the buys, and now look what it's doing. It's pushing back down. So I get it why traders be failing, man. I completely understand. I understand why traders be, losing money and, prefer scalping or trying to get in and out of the markets quick. I'm pretty sure some people that made some money today on NASDAQ. I'm pretty sure it's a lot of people who lost money, man. But overall, just looking at the trade, and that was my last loss right there for like $80, and then kind of just left it like that, man. So that was the day. Down to 80 on the day, man. Just wanted to break down the trades for you guys, because for the most part, you got to also trade the right pair, man. The right pair is so important to what you're doing, to your mental and everything, because it may not even just be your strategy. It may just be the pair that you're trading sometimes. Like, for example, if I would have took the same concept that I trade, my same strategy, nothing different, and I would have applied it to US 30, at the same time when I was looking to take sales roughly around midnight, when I saw it, if I'd have took the same principles, right, to US 30, I would have been able to, secure, a sell opportunity somewhere around here, somewhere up in here. Man, come on now. Somewhere up around here, stop loss, possibly like that, and would have got target would have definitely been down here, right, like that, for a 1 to 3. Same concept, same trade, right? Daily, same thing. Look how the daily's pushing, right? This is way more cleaner structure than this. Look, way more cleaner structure, right? And I didn't even look at US 30. I don't know why, but way more cleaner structure. Price pushing into a daily order block, which eventually this may push up. But way more cleaner structure to the downside. Like literally this whole week, way more cleaner structure to the downside. Look, push, leg down, pull back, leg down, slight pullback, leg down, right? Way more cleaner structure than this. Look at this. You know what I'm saying? Way more cleaner structure. And that's what the problem is with a lot of traders, man. It don't even be a strategy, bro. Tell you, it don't even be a strategy. Sometimes it's just the pair. You know what I'm saying? Gold, like everybody talk about how they don't like to trade gold. Gold, way cleaner structure. You know what I'm saying? Look, leg up. Way cleaner structure, right? You could have looked for the buy here. You know, this is just a daily pullback. Probably into a 4-hour order block. Exactly. Right? Just into a 4-hour order block, bro. Way more clean. You take a buy from here and you ride it up to this particular point. You want to get back up to the highs. Look, everything happened. If you want to, you could have took it early there, or you could have took the higher low here, or you could have waited for price to push back into the hourly block and take it up. You know what I'm saying? And that's my fault for taking the wrong pair, knowing that I had cleaner structure on other pairs. You know what I'm saying? That's where the problem lies with the trader. Knowing that you got cleaner structure on other pairs, and then you decide to take the trade on a pair that's choppy. You know what I'm saying? Because you want to try to make a splash. Well, me personally, but because you want to make a splash. You want to make something, right? I don't got nothing to prove to nobody, but I just wanted to put this out there so you guys can see that sometimes it's just not even the pair or the instrument that you're trading. I mean, sometimes it's not your strategy, sorry. Sometimes it's not your strategy. Sometimes it's just the instrument or the pair that you're trading, right? And you gotta start looking for cleaner structure. Start taking trades with cleaner structure, right? AU, cleaner structure, bro. We knew this was selling down. UJ, look at US CAD, man. Look if you would have just rolled US CAD up for the last 2 weeks, right? Same thing, cleaner structure, bro. Like all this cleaner structure, right? Cleaner structure. I do. This will happen when you don't take your time to look at the market to figure out what's going on. Cleaner structure. Everything happened right here. Shift of structure for you to take this long. You know what I'm saying? Look at what's going on in the structure. Look at daily. I wouldn't trade the Swiss franc. GBP, no. Perfect pull a Euro USD. Perfect pull off the resistant area to where you could have took longs. Right. That's the only time I take a reversal. If it's off of a huge area like that, huge resistant area. And even though this was kind of wicky and choppy as well, so that would have been most likely a no. No for me, just because of the wick and the chop. But still cleaner structure that I could have took, which would have came out better than me taking NASDAQ. You know what I'm saying? Cleaner structure, bro. GBP, I marked that off because I knew it was going to get down to, I think it was 29,500. So same thing off a psychological level. It didn't get down to the order block that I expect. But the thing about it too is that I still expect this pair to push down and get down there. I still expect it to, right? It might be going into a 4-hour order block and getting ready to push down, push back down, another leg down tomorrow or something like that. Cleaner structure, bro. Knew these was gonna sell because of the move yesterday. It had such a big move yesterday, all the yen pairs. You know what I'm saying? GA order block kind of already matched it, pushed through that one, came back, push up. If you look at the daily, bro, it's just cleaner. Not that clean, but you know, yeah, I probably wouldn't have took that. GBP CAD wouldn't have took that. Would have been expecting for price to push lower, but it is making higher lows, right? So price is pushing up to the upside. Oh man, hell no. Hell no. What GBP switch, Frank? I don't even know how I got that on my list, man. That this looks terrible. If you trading this, I know you ain't making no money, dog. If you trading this right here, you ain't making no money, bro. You ain't making no money, dog. NZD. Hopefully we can continue to get this leg down. They close like this, man. It's kind of tapping into another little daily order block like this. Hopefully we can get a push to the downside. I mean, I'm done for the week though, man. But yeah, hopefully we get this 4 hour starts to do like a lower, slight pullback and then a lower high. And then you can start looking for potential shorts. Yeah, so it looks something like that. You want to see some volume candles start pushing it back down to the downside. I probably would have took a trade from up here, to be honest. AJ, same thing, right? We knew it was such a huge move on these yen pairs the previous day that obviously price had to push down. And if you look at the daily, bro, not so great previous structure like up in here. Like you was getting cooked up in here. If you was taking trades up in here, you was getting cooked. I don't care who you are. You was getting cooked up in here, bro. Cooked. Completely done. Shredded. And then it finally made this leg out, and that's when I started looking at it after this bullish close. And then, like I said, you could have dropped down on your 4 hour and started taking longs like up in here and up in there. And then, like I said, it was such a huge leg up that price had to pull back on those periods. Same thing with EJ. But like I said, if you're looking to take a trade on a pair, man, look at the daily time frame, bro. The daily time frame is going to tell you everything that you need, man. And if Nas closed bullish, man, and it closed above this level right here, which is hopefully if it closes above 20,250, then I'll probably look for longs. But honestly, I don't think I'm gonna be trading this pair again, or at least not in this type of structure where it's just garbage, bro. Look at this. That was garbage right up in there. I mean, I know people made money, some people did, but that was just garbage up in there, man. And you just gotta start to know that. You just gotta start to be able to look at what's going on that specific, on the daily time frame. And that's kind of tell you like, hey, how price action is going to be for the day. So if I saw all these wicks like that on a daily, then I would be looking at hey, it's going to be a lot of up and down, right? So that means if I catch a move up, I may want to take profit early because I know price can come crashing back down, right? Still a high, and then kind of broke this little minor higher low. So, you was expecting this lower high to come, and it did happen. But luckily, look at this. If you was expecting this lower high, I guarantee a lot of people took shorts on this candle for the push down. And look what price did. When it filled the wick, stopped everybody out. If you was that deep in it, right? Right. So this was the wick from right here. Price started to ascend on the 4 hour, right? Broke structure. Because I'm telling you, if you look at this from that standpoint, bro, if you're looking at this from that standpoint right here, you would have been looking for price to push up in here, make a lower high, and then push down. What it did, push through, and then came up here, give you this fake double top to push down a little bit, come back up, pushed up. It's just deep pullbacks, and then crash. You know what I'm saying?